Just stop and take a little time out with me. Just take 5.
All right. Let's go ahead and get into it. Ooh, let me make sure my mic is right. How are we feeling this morning?
Pretty good.
Good.
Don't lie to me in. Anywho, it's actually episode 17. Madness and Badness. Day 2 of March Madness is in the books. Mono's ball.
Why does Mo know ball?
You have to say it's all in the world. It's like a pimp named Slickback. Like it's Mono's ball. You know what I'm saying? You just say it like that.
Nah.
Yeah, come on, Julian, say it with me. Mono's ball.
Why do you know ball? I just wanna.
Well, first and foremost is because my bracket is much nicer than yours. Like let's just start with that.
It can't be.
Of course it is. You think I didn't check? It's on the next slide. You underestimate me?
Yeah.
Do you know who I am?
Let's pull the next slide up.
Let me get through the intro first, though. I'm just like you and your boy Ian. Like, I don't know why y'all can't put faith in my track record, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like y'all should know me by now. Mono's ball. It's all in the name.
How do you know ball? Like, what are you pointing to? Like, other than
can't even co-sign it.
First and foremost, Ian, you should have even made a bracket. Like, I won't lie to you. Like,
I made it at 12, literally like 15 minutes before the game or something.
Yeah, that wasn't your move. Anywho, we do have our bracket challenge up. Nice 20-man league, and we're gonna get into that in a little bit. Like I said, episode 17. Make sure y'all follow us everywhere at Take V Pod, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, X, TikTok, everything. Got daily content coming out. And we will be chatting about the March Madness as it unfolds. Now, let's go ahead and get into the show here. So, all right. So, I'm going to have to blow this up a little bit because it's definitely hard to see here, especially without my glasses. But these are the standings after day 2 of how we're doing it. So a lot of these names, I'm not quite sure everybody, but we'll figure that out. Got some interesting picks in there. I know y'all see that Kentucky, down at 17. They go out bad.
That's so.
Yeah.
And not that. It's to be expected. But Julian, I mean, just a I'm sorry will do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
we're literally one game apart.
What is that supposed to mean?
And you have Purdue. Okay, let's go ahead and unbox this. Like,
wait. Like, just say it. Like, it's just
one game. Listen. You're one game above me. Okay, mind you, there were some flukes that like could have went the opposite way. There were a few flukes. I don't even have my phone right now, so I can't recall all of them. But like, there were some games that swung that were kind of BS. Who'd you have? Colorado and Florida.
Florida.
Okay, me too. Who'd you have?
That was BS. I couldn't agree more.
What about yesterday? Who was the other close games? I'm trying to think. I can't think off the top of my
but
brain.
that's the thing. I'm definitely gonna have to have this up because there are a lot of games.
Yeah, too many games. Yeah,
and a lot of nonsense. Let me see here. So
the close games. I'm trying to think who I lost.
Did have St. Mary's.
I got St. Mary's right. I knew they were pretenders, and I did about bro from Grand Canyon who he had like all of those health conditions. Like 2 times earlier in his career, he had I think he passed out on the court 2 times. And he's finally getting back to hooping this year. and he's been going crazy. So that's why I thought that was a good story and bet on it.
Definitely was a good player. I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name. I did have TCU. They went out bad.
I picked that. I got Utah State.
And
it was one of my upsets. It was one of my other upsets. I think it was like a 12-5 that had a good shot and they lost.
Did you have UAB versus San Diego?
No.
Well, anywho, Mono's ball.
Anyway, but let's go ahead and break down your champion though. You have Purdue winning. Like I'm gonna beat you just off that. Like just off the strength that you have Purdue in your championship. Like, I'll be surprised if they even hit the Final Four or the 8. Like I think they're probably gonna get bounced out Sweet 16. Like, bro. All right.
It's all in the clip.
Please click that.
And we can go ahead and get into it though, Drew, because there's always a method to the madness. While we're here, I'd love to hear, Julian, how did you make your picks? Did you go by any sort of formula? What did you look at when you made your bracket?
I can't get into my exact formula.
You definitely can. The picks are a lot. Like
I don't know if it's appropriate,
it's over.
But there's a few things that I take that are intangible into account. Like I'll go ahead and pull up roster construction, if you know what I mean. So I'll pull up pictures of the rosters. And if I see something that, you know, they look athletic, they look good, I'll usually go that way. I'll tend to lean.
How does one look athletic?
You know what I mean? But I like with my St. Mary's pick versus Grand Canyon, I knew who was going to win that one. And I did go against myself a few times. What's it called? Like when I picked Wisconsin, that's who it was. I picked Wisconsin to win versus James Madison. Usually I'll fade Wisconsin and Nebraska every tournament. They're not going past the second round. Like not anymore. They used to, like when we were young, like probably around like 10 or 11, they had some good teams like Sam Hauser, those guys, they had some good players. Now they're not going past the second round because these mid-major schools have dogs, like as we saw. Like I was looking at the Wisconsin game last night. They just couldn't, like they were worse players. They were less aggressive. Like it was just terrible. Like they got beat by a team who was better than them. And like, yeah, that's usually how I go off my picks. And then like, obviously one thing I look at is like, I like to bet on players in the tournament. So like, I do know a little bit about college basketball. So like some of the like better players, I'll usually always bet on them to take their teams there. I definitely did that a few times with my Duquesne pick. I based it on that, but yeah.
You did have Wisconsin winning that game?
I had Wisconsin winning, yeah.
Okay. So I just want to get into this.
Usually.
I just want to get into this because we pick. It seems like we pick the exact opposite way, actually. You know what my favorite league is, right? National Basketball Association. All right. So there's a man who revolutionized the game that's in the league currently today. Any guesses of who I'm talking about?
I'm talking about Curry?
I'm talking about Steph Curry. And what Steph Curry has been known for is shooting the 3-ball. Now, if you can shoot the 3-ball, you should not be out of any game. But that's where I got caught up. Because when we do start talking about roster construction, when we do start talking about athletes versus average Joes, some of these Joes can shoot. So they threw me off. I believed that they were going to come out shooting lights out. And that's not exactly what happened. Okay, so when we talk about the St. Mary's, when we talk about the BYUs, when we talk about the who did you just say? The Wisconsins, they threw me for a loop.
Nebraska.
Those are the team. I didn't have Nebraska now. I didn't go that far. You know, Tominaga. I couldn't do all of that. But
they say
those are the teams that threw me
Curry.
Something like that. Something like that. The Shogun. You know what I'm saying? But Miles, do you have any methods to choosing your bracket?
I just look back at matchups because it's hard to keep up with all these teams throughout the season. So like I do try and just look back at previous matchups and like strength of conference. I mean, something like James Madison, because I'm pretty sure last year they won their conference and had a win or two. So it was and they've been kind of on a heater. So like that for me was kind of an easier pick because I wasn't really putting much trust into Wisconsin and them. I actually have James Madison beating Duke as well in the next round. So we'll see how that one goes.
That's probably gonna happen based on what I saw last night.
Yeah,
like Duke's not good. I'll just go ahead and put that one out there. Duke is not a good team. So James Madison just looked like the aggressor in their game. Like, those dudes were completely shook. And it surprised me because, like, this is actually why I picked that specific game. Like, I picked a lot of upsets in this tournament. That specific game, I was like, Wisconsin's going to win because that dude, number one, I thought Storr, the 6'7" wing on Wisconsin, he's good. Like, he can play. He looked shell-shocked last night. I mean, he couldn't dribble. He couldn't pass. He couldn't shoot. It was ridiculous. And then they have Wall, number 5. He infuriated me. And, like, I've been watching him for years, and he's a big reason why I usually pick against Wisconsin because he is ass. I'll go ahead and put that one out there. He is ass. Like, last night they tried to, like, keep passing him the ball and, like, reposting him. He couldn't finish a layup to save his life. He has no left hand. Like, it was just like, it was a ridiculous thing to watch for me. But like James Madison, they look really good, and I'll be surprised if they lose to Duke, honestly.
A couple things.
You got to look at like how they're trending. Like, especially like I feel like their conference tournaments are a big.
They are, but that's why I picked Wisconsin because they played Purdue in their conference tournament and they beat them.
Yeah, true that.
Shout out to Morgan's pick. But
that's my pick too. I'm still rocking with Purdue.
Shout out to both of y'all. Then y'all are gonna be sad. Zach Edey, like, he's a good player and all. He's not taking you there. I'm telling you, he's not gonna take you there. Like, I've seen it for 4 or 5 years now. It's not gonna happen. Like,
see, but again, Miles and I are probably looking at the same thing. All right, when we talk about matchups, Edey is a matchup nightmare for anybody that he plays going forward. We know that. So what are they going to do? Play physical, double team, what have you? You have 40% shooters from range all around.
Doesn't matter. When things get tight, when guys get tight, that goes down 10%, bro. Like, that's going down 10%.
For sure.
Who do they have? Is it tomorrow? Who do they have?
Have next
Utah State.
Yeah, Utah State.
That could already get smoked out. And then in the next round, it's projected who's on their side of the bracket, like Tennessee,
Gonzaga,
Tennessee and Gonzaga. Is it on that?
Gonzaga, Kansas.
Oh, that's it.
That would be the Sweet 16.
The Sweet 16, okay, but they are on Tennessee's and Kentucky's side, correct? I know Kentucky's out, but that's out.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be NC State. That would be NC State and the Tennessee side. Okay, interesting. But even, bro, if they play Kansas, they have to face Dickey.
If they play Kansas, true. What?
That's true.
Zach Edey has to face Dickey. That's not a matchup nightmare. Not at all. Actually, I would argue Dickey's better than Zach Edey. I'm going to go ahead and put that one out there.
First of all, Kansas is going to go. All right, they're going to go quietly.
They may because what's it called?
They have a big injury.
They lost their best player, yeah. But Kansas is still Kansas can still hoop. Like, they have the best player on the court most games.
Mono's ball.
These are facts.
All right. I'm just saying, if you get it, Kansas, and you have to face Hunter Dickinson is 7-1. That Zach Edey stuff, I don't know.
Oh, you're not.
I don't know. Okay. I've seen him play. You know, I've been a Dickie fan for years in a row. Yeah, I've been watching Dickinson play damn, he's got to be a 5th year, 6th year senior at this point or something
like that.
I feel like we were in high school when I was watching him play at Michigan, but that's not going to be sweet. So you better hope you don't get that matchup. If you do, you're on thin ice.
With that being said, Miles also mentioned the conference. Why don't we actually talk about some conference champions, shall we? Now, there's a reason why Jacob is not with us this morning, the fifth man of our group. All right. He went to Auburn. All right. So I have here in my notes, Auburn favored by 13.5 over Yale. Yale. They let a man named, I'm going to mess up his name now, John Poulikitis. John Poulikitis put up 28 points on 67% shooting. Did anybody have Yale winning this game?
No.
No. No.
So what was your ultimate reaction to what transpired yesterday?
I mean, I don't know. That was just like a sad thing to watch Auburn unravel down the stretch of that game, especially like for a team like they have some veterans on that team. They have pros on that team. Like there's some pretty good guys, and they have a coach who's pretty well respected around the country. So to see how that game unfolded, and they were winning that game there. I mean,
they were up by 10 points.
Yeah, they were winning that game, and then you kind of just slowly saw Yale pick up steam, and Auburn folded. They choked. I'm not going. They choked because they had every chance. I mean, they had free throw chances multiple times. The guy got left on the inbound. He smoked the layup, but he got fouled. Then he had another chance to hit free throws. They got the rebound again. They missed 3 shots. Like, it's just, that was tough to watch. Tough to watch for Auburn fans.
If I'm not mistaken, at the end of the game, like you were mentioning, they're down by 2 points, right? Mm-hmm. Foul, you go to the line. All you have to do is make 2, and we could at least go into overtime, and y'all can, possibly win that game. You miss both. So,
yep.
Hey, this was awful. In my personal opinion, we're going to get to the upsets, of course. There's many upsets, but in my personal opinion, this was the worst one. This was unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable.
Wow.
But, this was worse than Kentucky, in my opinion, just because, like, I don't know. That dude from Oakland did go insane. Like, he went insane. It wasn't like they were, like, leaving him. Like, they didn't leave him open. Like, they were face guarding that guy, and he was just hitting every shot. Like,
yeah, he was like,
yeah, like, there's times where guys are on and you can't really do anything with them, and that happened for them. But
in addition to that, I mean, Kentucky has a lot of young players. You know what I mean? Like, they have a lot of young guys, especially when the game got, tight at the end of the like, there are many mistakes that were made, questionable shot selection, what have you. Yale.
I wish Jacob was on too, because he told me they were going to win the tournament. He was like, he said a lot of stuff. Like, I've been talking to him for the last 2 weeks since like the SEC tournament was coming on, and he's been talking cash money. So I wish it was on.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to find those clips.
Yeah. And I know he bet. Yeah, he had to bet the house on this. Like Jacob's a gambler. Like, he bet so big. He probably bet on a lot of things. Honestly, like I bet he bet everything. Like, he bet player props. He bet spread, the money line.
My line would be crazy.
He tournament winner.
But yeah, I'm sure he bet that. Like, ooh.
Yeah. He definitely goes. No, he definitely goes. I'm gonna find those clips. That's the first thing getting posted. Like, that's good content. Oh yeah, we're winning it all. Yeah. Other upset we mentioned this Kentucky nonsense against Oakland.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a new name that we know. Jack Golke. 32 points, 10 made threes. All right. It was Jimmer Fredette-esque what he was doing to those men. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about running full speed, fading, and still making the bucket. Any reactions to this Kentucky madness?
No, I mean, yeah, bro was doing stupid. Like, there's no other way to put it. It's not much Kentucky can do. But I guess like it's one of those things where like when you expect programs like Kentucky, when it comes down close in the stretch to be able to pull those games out, and then when it doesn't, it is such a big shock. But yeah, like y'all were saying, I don't think it's as bad as Auburn losing, but it's still pretty still a poor showing, of course.
I mean, yeah, Kentucky. I feel like there was a lot of red flags with Kentucky all year. Like they did have a lot of good talent. Like the two freshmen, Dillingham and Reed Shepherd. I never thought Reed Shepherd was good. Me and Jacob Rivers actually talked about that when Miami played them because Reed Shepherd had a really good game. I was like, that guy's not good. But anyways,
How you it was a good game. He was their best player probably that game.
Of course he was. When we played them? When Miami played them?
No, I'm talking about when he played what's the name?
When Oakland played?
Yeah.
Reed Shepherd.
Oh no. You're talking about the white dude. You're talking about the
yes.
White dude.
Yes.
Yeah. He played terrible.
Nah, he's bad. Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Reeves.
No, Reeves is tough. No, Reeves, he's like a senior though. Like he's been good all year. But like I said, Kentucky had red flags all year. Like their defense atrocious all year. But that was another thing. Like when it comes down to like looking at the SEC teams, like those guys always get into track meets like throughout the regular season. So when the tournament, like when the game slows down in the tournament, like when they're facing other teams, like these teams who are scoring 50 points, 60 points a game, like can you win those games? Like I don't know. It proves like they can, obviously. So yeah.
Definitely gets tough. Obviously, when we talk about a guy going for 32 on Kentucky, 10 made threes, a lot of people are questioning the coaching scheme when it came defensively. All right, so we have Calipari in well-known, well-respected coach for Kentucky, been there for a long time. I just looked it up. He's 65 years of age. But I want to take this a different direction. We got Saban stepping down, Coach K stepping down. We got Roy Williams stepping down. Is this another sign? Because, of course, Kentucky hasn't done anything in the past 5 years. Is this another sign that golden age of coaching that we had needs to come to a close? We have NIL. We have the transfer portal. The game is changing. Is it time for us to move on from that era of coaching?
Yeah, I mean, most of those coaches are done now, kind of like you just said, like Roy, Coach K, Boeheim from Syracuse. I know Bill Self's still going strong, but even Michigan's coach, John Beilein, like he left for the NBA a few years ago. He was dominant. The both guys from UConn left. I mean, I guess they still stay strong though. But yeah, like most of those coaches are. I mean, yeah, it seems like they're either retiring or the game's passing them by. Rick Pitino, he's still coaching, but his team didn't make the tournament, and he blamed all his players. If y'all saw that,
is though still going strong.
I don't know. I feel like Coach Cal, like he's a hard one because, like, yeah, he's putting guys in the NBA. I don't know how much that has to do with like his coaching development, or like is he just getting the most talented players? Like that's hard to say. But he's always put guys in the league, and he still will do that this year. But like I feel like with the NIL, like we just have to expect a little bit less from them. Like, will Rob Dillingham and Reed Shepherd be ready to face like grown men when it comes to tournament time? You know what I'm saying? Like, will they yesterday or 2 days ago, it seemed like they weren't ready. So I don't know. I feel like the things are just balancing out a little bit.
Any thoughts on this coaching thing? All right. So we got a lot of older coaches that are stepping down. Some are still, around in the game, of course, but their teams aren't necessarily doing great or haven't done great.
I feel like everyone retired by now. Like, who's still even going? Like, Coach Cal's still going. Bill Self is still going. Like, even Jay Wright at Villanova's done.
Tom Izzo.
Izzo's still going, and they win.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess like the game will probably pass them by in the next few years, but they're old also. Like, I don't think it's like they're bad coaches. Like, they're probably going to retire.
But I mean, my thing is the game definitely catches up with you, though. It's just not the same game. I mean, I don't know. There's obviously been great players, great performances.
The teams just don't get top rated anymore, especially with NIL and like what we were talking about with James Madison. Like mid-major schools have started to grow their programs and get very talented players nowadays. So like it's not necessarily a bad, like, yeah, it doesn't look good that they lost in the first round to an Oakland squad, but like it's a good thing for the fan perspective that like the competitive balance of college basketball is
balancing out,
has kind of leveled out, and it's not just the top 5 schools that we keep seeing every single year kind of get to the top. So,
and like, my only thing is like they had a successful regular season. Like the tournament, it's one game. Like if you lose, you're out. But like what was he supposed to do? Like that guy Goki, like he's a bench player. Like we didn't expect him to drop 30 on 75% from 3. Like what is he supposed to do in that situation? Like what is any coach going to do? Yeah. They face guarded him, denied him the ball. Like he got it and chucked it and it went in. Like I don't know what he's supposed to do. They put every defender on him. They put Dillingham, Reeves, Shepard, like everyone got theirs. They all got some.
You can't get into an X's and O's discussion. But wouldn't you agree that this game still could have been won, even with Jack Goki going crazy?
It came down to the wire.
For sure.
Like, yeah,
exactly.
I don't think that was a reflection. I don't know if it's a reflection on his coaches, is what I'm saying. Like, there's plays that were made. There's plays that were made. Go ahead.
All I'm saying, hold on just 1 second. What I'm saying, in that same breath, some people are wondering if he should have used that transfer portal. Before something like this even occurs, get some veterans in there, get some guys that have been in the tournament, know how to lead, etc., instead of relying on these freshmen to do great things. Like, what do you say to that?
Like I just said, his team is not all freshmen. Like, I would say 5 years ago, his team was like mostly freshmen. Like, they would recruit like 7 freshmen, and like they would all be 4 and 5 stars. And like that's the team they're going to run out with, like maybe a sophomore or junior on their team, like, but they're not going to get that many minutes. Like this team had contributors who were old. Like Reeves is. Am I tripping? Like I'm pretty sure Reeves is a senior.
I thought they were all freshmen and sophomores.
I don't think so.
Yeah, Reeves is a senior.
I've seen Reeves play for a while now, but like I don't know. I can't blame him for like his 19-year-olds. Like they choked. Like that was a choke. Like it was. Like we saw it. They'll come down and turn the ball over, or come down and take a bad shot when they didn't need to. Like Shepard came down and he didn't even set his feet. They were down 4 points. He got a screen and like faded it into the 3, and he didn't need to at all. Like that's just a sign of like you're not like mentally there yet. Like you're not ready. So I don't know if that's a Coach Cal thing. Like maybe get your players more prepared or settle them down more. But like I don't know. What's he gonna do there?
Who knows?
I'm sure he didn't tell him. I'm sure he didn't tell him, yeah, you fade into this 3-pointer after you get the screen. Like, no way he said that. So
he told him to shoot with confidence. Like, what was he supposed to do? Like,
and that didn't look confident. That didn't even look confident.
I mean, hey, shoot or shoot though. At the end of the day, like I don't know what you can say. But we're talking about symptoms of much larger issues. All right. Mr. N, Mr. Henderson, striped sweater. What do all of these players have in common on this screen here?
They're all international, I guess.
All international, non-American, not born on the soil, if you will. So, I want to talk a little bit about the NBA. It's become an ongoing line of discussion that the NBA's best players are all not American. Like they all then, for the most part, they didn't even play college basketball. All right. Some of them did. Yes, I know. But a lot of them don't even play college basketball. They just come in from overseas, different leagues, and they hoop. And now they're running the league as we have it. Like we got Jokic, he's going to be a multi-time MVP. Embiid, if he can ever, I don't know, maybe if he switches his leg with some type of iron or something like that, he could be a multi-MVP. Giannis, I mean, he has a case himself. Luka Doncic, we know what he is. First of all, is this good for the NBA to have so much? Like we've always had international players, but for them to actually run the league is very different. What do y'all say to that?
I mean, I think it's definitely helping growing the league, like it's getting more fans into it. Like, I don't see why it's bad. Like, I think it adds competition. Even like, I feel like the American players, like they see how far these international players are. Like, I feel like, especially like when they have to face them in like the FIBA tournaments, like they're definitely not like backing down. Like, I think they see it as like a competitive like thing. Like I feel like they like it. I don't know.
I mean, it could never be a bad thing. Like we can't gatekeep the NBA as U.S. citizens. Like I think it's 100% a good thing. And like to Ian's point, yeah, when it comes to international contests, now that we're getting a more international flavor in the NBA, like it just improves those international competitions exponentially. Like it was always kind of like, okay, US, Spain would get thrown in there, probably a couple other teams that are always kind of at the top, but now it's like when you have these top players in the entire world from different countries, like they can definitely put their country on the map when it comes to in the international side. So I'm a proponent that we should add some sort of like, and it sucks just because there's so many games now, but like some sort of international like club tournament, kind of like a Champions League type of deal. Obviously, I think at first the NBA teams would end up dominating that, but that if we want to talk about growing the game internationally, like that would maybe incentivize more players that maybe can't fully make it in the NBA to rise to the top over there and kind of grow those clubs. But I don't think the influx of international superstars is a bad thing at all.
It could be interesting. It could be interesting. There'd be a lot to go into that, of course, but that could be interesting. Joe, any comments about that? Anything?
I agree with what they're saying, honestly.
You guys have always heard me talk about how basketball is the greatest sport in the world, and it's because of this very reason right here. I mean, Julian, you're not gonna find many guys in Croatia playing American football. You know what I'm saying?
Because they would get wrecked. Because they would get wrecked.
I'm just saying amongst themselves. You know what I mean? Like, do they have a 7-on-7 league? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is, like, the game is beautiful because it's international. I mean, it's the simplistic beauty of basketball, Julian. Is what we have to understand. I mean, all you need is a ball and a hoop, right?
So why is soccer not the greatest sport then?
It's one of them. It's definitely one of them. What are we talking
global?
About?
It's much more global.
Of course it is. It was made overseas. maybe I should backtrack. How about I do that, Julie? How about I do a quick backstroke? American-made sport, all right, becoming this international is a beautiful thing to see. How about that?
Better.
Okay. All right. So, is it good for the league? I think so. But we've had a lot of different discussions, about this. Some are wondering if the face of the league can be international, so what have you. But I want to take it a little different direction here because it is March and we have March Madness. So could this be the fact that we have all these international players running the league, our best players are international? Could this have to do with how we are developing American players? Okay, because I know, Ian, I know he's gonna laugh. Like sometimes when you watch all of these games, these different schools and how they play, a lot of these guys are not that skilled. They don't have that fundamental base that some of these European players have, right? And then we get into talking deeper than that. We have AAU basketball where it's almost like the highlights. Oh, who can cross up who? Can you do an East Bay in game? Is pushed more, is valued more than being able to play team basketball and excel in that way. Is there a problem, an issue with how we develop American players? And can it be solved?
I don't agree with that. I'll also go ahead and say no. I'll break this down into a few facets. So first, I'll address you at the lowest level. High school. Okay. So if we're looking like high school AAU, I'll say there are some problems, but you do get both sides usually. So a kid can go play AAU and that'll be more of a free flowing game a lot of the times. At least, that's what we see with the best players. They're kind of granted more freedom. But then when they go play in their high school, you played high school basketball, most players are not just allowed to cook in high school basketball. You're going to have to play within your offense, you play within your system, use your team, listen to your coach. So I think they're able to get both sides. Is that not true?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say it encompasses all high schools because of course
I say most players.
For the most part, yeah.
But even most, we have to understand that's all coaching. You know what I mean? And if you do not have a talented coach, if you do not have somebody that has those type of values of playing team basketball, what have you, and they just want to push their best player so that it makes the school look good, they get more talented players to come in. There are schools like that. So
there's times where you should use your best player though. If we just look at some of the schools here, teams that use their best players heavily, even Collier, he played at Wheeler. They won. I think they won 2 times while he was in high school. When we were there, Ant-Man, his team was winning. Even Sharif and them, they were going deep in the playoffs. They didn't win, I don't think, but they went deep. So there are times if you have the best player on the court,
they won when we went to college.
His
year, I think.
Okay, well, what's it called? If you have 2 5-stars, you should use them. You shouldn't try to rein them in. Let them cook. And we saw them have success doing that. So that's the high school portion. Then to the college aspect, I get what you're saying, about some guys not being that skilled, but I don't know. I feel the game is way different. Maybe you can say we should have a more similar game to an NBA game, and that would help them transition better. I don't know, but the college game and the NBA game is not really comparable. The shot clock is longer. There's just they can play zone, or teams play a lot of zone defense. It's more physical. It's a much different game. So I feel you can't really compare it that much. And I don't think that the players, or I guess it's amateur. They're still amateur. So yes, the players are worse, but I don't think that they're not skilled. Most of the best teams, they're going to have multiple guys who can go do most things. They're going to have post players. They're going to have guys who can shoot the lights out. They have ball handlers. I don't think that the guys are not skilled. And I feel like you'll see that on most good teams, like the good teams who are going to send players to the NBA. Like those guys are good players.
Interesting take. Interesting take. Does anybody else have anything to chime in about when it comes to the development of young players?
Yeah, I definitely think European basketball, like they definitely, I won't say they develop better, but they have like a better system. Like I heard Franz Wagner, what's his name, Wagner?
Wagner, yeah.
Franz Wagner, he was like, over there in Europe, they would just pass and wait for someone to get open. I know Morgan remembers this on Coach Duckett's team. Like all we would do in middle school is pass until someone would get open. And like I feel like I don't say it's like the best type of basketball, but like I feel like it's definitely more successful. Like we see it in FIBA. Like what are you making that face for?
That's not NBA basketball though. Like that's not what we see in the NBA. We don't really see that. Like very rarely do we actually. Like we'll see. That? You're talking about
pass for the open shot.
Yeah, it's not
Jokic. We literally.
Yes, I was gonna bring that up actually. Yeah, we see it with like one guy who's the best player in the league. Like he's one guy who's the best player in the league. But if we look at every other team who has success, we don't really see that. Like that's not what we've seen for the last 20 years. Because that's not NBA basketball.
Because their best player isn't like fundamentally like as good as Jokic. Like we know this. Like Jokic is he's an outlier for sure. But like if you have a good player, if your best player is like buying into the system and gets the rest of their players to buy into the system, like passing and cutting and getting the open shot rather than just ISOing, like it's gonna get
okay. See, this is where I have to push back. Let's take a team of full Americans, right? So let's take the Warriors, for example. They've ran our generation. Those players all bought into the system. Those players are all American. I don't understand what you're saying. Like
I wouldn't say all of them. No.
Yeah, that's not even true. Like
I wouldn't say all of them.
There's a distinct
Wiggins
difference.
is Canadian, I think, right? Like
I mean, Wiggins is a small part of the
not even Wiggins, but if we talk about the golden age of Golden State, I mean Andrew Bogut, when they had that big man in there, he was a passing force. He was a hub.
I'm just saying, there's no way that we're talking about Andrew Bogut being a big part of part of the Warriors dynasty. Like he
definitely is a name that is.
He's a piece
in the Warriors.
Yes, he's a piece. He's like a fifth piece on the roster. Like that system didn't revolve around Andrew Bogut at all. It was about the best players buying in. And those players were all American, and they all bought into a system of passing, cutting, screening. Yeah,
but that doesn't happen often. Name another team that does that other than the Nuggets.
Ian, that's what I'm trying to tell you though. That's not NBA basketball. Like that's not what basketball really is in the NBA.
That's what I'm saying. I understand that. I'm saying I feel like the European basketball we should put that into NBA basketball. Like,
but that wasn't the question though. See that wasn't the question.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
We were saying, do the Europeans and other people, the foreigners, develop players better than Americans? I would say absolutely not, because if we look at baseline, of course, America's still going to send far more players to the league and they're going to have far more success than most like international players. Yes, there are some elite international players as we see on the bottom of the screen. Like those guys are dogs. But like, no, I don't think that there's more. Like there just happens to be there's guys who are the best players. Yeah.
I'm just saying if you implemented this system into like you say like high school, like or maybe like even before that, I feel like
high schools do that though. Like high schools do.
Dude, I argue against the high school, like the AAU point. Like that the best players like they have free roaming ability in AAU, but like I would still say that's more or less the case in high school. And then where like they still have the ability to just kind of free roam if you're
elite. You're elite.
And then like when college hits, I think that's when that kind of levels out to a more or less European game where like I don't know if college is actually doing much to grow some of these elite players, because I mean once they get to the league it'll go back to just them high usage on the ball, where it's like in college it is still all about moving the ball around, finding the right shots, finding the high percentage shots. So like
Can I
I don't
add
know
a
if the
point?
European. Yeah.
Let me just add a point to what you're saying. And when we talk about the colleges, like you take that Kentucky team, they're full of one and done guys. You know what I mean? So even if they are being coached by the best, learning how to play in the system at that higher level than what a high school situation would be, and of course, like an AAU, they're only doing it for about a year, and then they're going into the league where you could either be on a team like Jokic, where even role guys can thrive because they're getting the ball, they know how to pass and cut, what have you, or you could put on a Lakers team where you just kind of stand around LeBron and then you see what happens. That's just the point.
True, like that's literally
you have to understand those guys.
Dude,
it's not that other. Listen. It's not that there's not other players who could go and eat on the Nuggets. The Nuggets are good because of Joker. Yes, they're good because of Joker, right?
And the system.
And the system.
Yeah, the system revolves around Joker, though. The system is good because Joker's elite. Like he's a monster. That's why there's a system. We didn't even know who Malone was before Joker. Let's keep it real.
It's not true.
We didn't care about him. We didn't care about him.
Bought into the system, though, is the point, though.
Other players would buy into that system. The system revolves around Joker. Yes, they would.
If he had another co-star, let's say like Giannis or Dame, you think they could actually mold their game into Jokic's system? It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to
fit. They don't fit because they don't have Joker's skill set. Like that's what I'm talking.
But to Ian's point, though, let's be honest. Let's be honest while we're saying this. Having a system revolve around Joker and having a system that revolves around Luka are two completely different things, I feel like. Whereas Jokic, he doesn't have to put up 30 every night. He doesn't have to have the ball in his hands even in order for that team to be successful. It's two different things. So I give Malone a lot of credit. He's definitely one of them ones that we have in the league today. Jokic is great though.
I don't give him a lot more than like 5% credit. Like let's keep it
5% is wild.
No, I don't give him more than 5% credit. Joker is just a monster. Like Jokic is a monster. That's why the Nuggets are good, is because Jokic is a complete and utter monster. That's why they're good. It's true. I mean, he has the most vicious skill set in the league, right? Let's keep it real. He has the most unstoppable skill set because yes, he does. There's no good centers in the league. Offensively, he does. There's no good other centers in the league besides like 3 or 4. Okay. So they can't do anything with him. Okay. Who are good centers? There's 4 or 5 good centers.
So you admit to it?
Yes, I admit to that. There's 4 or 5 good centers in basketball right now.
You got it.
Yes.
All right.
Name them. Name me more than 5.
I agree. I've been saying that. I've been saying that.
Dude, I've not argued that though. I've not disagreed with that. But I'm saying, listen, there's only a few players who can mess with Joker in terms of his scoring ability, right? But he also is the best passer on the court at the same time. So if they double him, then he's going to find the open man. That's not about Malone. I'm saying it's because Joker's a monster. That's like saying with like guys like LeBron. Okay, you can't really guard LeBron one-on-one because he'll drive past you and dunk on you, right?
It's not the same, though.
Yes, it is. It is similar. It's similar, though. It's not the same. LeBron drives the ball. Okay, LeBron made a living in the NBA off of driving kick. That's what he does. He needs guys to space the floor for him, and he drives and kicks. If you don't collapse on him, he'll dunk on you. And if you do collapse on him, he'll kick the ball out and you get an open shot.
This is because
that's not because of the coach. It's because he's a monster.
No, it's because he's athletic, dude. Jokic
right, his skill set, like that's
what are you talking about?
Jokic rely on athleticism. He relies on.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They can't stop him. They can't stop him either way. It doesn't matter why he's good. It doesn't matter why you're good. Joker's not good because of his. But no, it doesn't.
Julian, the coach and the system definitely matters a lot for the Denver Nuggets team. Like when we talk about the offense that they run, it's not just throw it to Jokic and we'll be fine. The Jokic and Jamal Murray 2-man game is one of the most unstoppable actions in
So do you not think
Why?
that there's 50 other coaches? There's 50 other coaches in the NBA who could design a system around Jokic and Jamal Murray.
No, not to that extent. I disagree with that completely.
No, I give
Absolutely
Jokic a
not.
lot of credit in the system. He probably did bring that over from Europe or wherever he came from. Like I'm sure he.
Why are y'all acting like this is something that's? This is not something that's like.
I'm saying it's not practice. It's not seen much.
Y'all are acting like this is something that like. I guess it's something that we've never seen before. It's because we've never seen a player like Joker. I don't think it's because like Joker is like European. Like I don't think that he brought European basketball to America. Like I don't think that's what it is. Like I think Joker is just a beast. Like he's a very good NBA basketball player, and it's hard to stop him. Like it's very hard to stop him.
But Jordan, when we watch the Nuggets and we watch, let's say, a team like the Lakers, the offenses are totally different, are they not?
We have different players. Of course they're different. What are we talking about? There's different players, so you have to design your system in a different manner.
It's different even for most teams. We can even say this for
who has a similar skill set to Joker.
I mean, in a different position, Luka, like lots of people.
Oh,
what do you mean? Shai is an elite passer. Like what he's elite in the post.
Nah, you lost me at Shay.
Let
me jump in here.
He's an elite shot maker. I'm confused. These are all players
who can
pass and make shots.
I get what Ian's trying to say to an extent, but that's not even where I'm going with it. I just want us to make sure that we give the credit where it's due. You know what I'm saying? Jokic is an elite talent. Yes, he can pass the ball. Yes, he can score the ball. He does whatever on offense. All I'm saying is that when we see the Nuggets spacing, when we see the ability of Aaron Gordon to run baseline to baseline, that's what makes their offense more unstoppable than anything. I mean, that's just that's not even an opinion. I mean, I feel like that's just that's common knowledge. Like, in addition to the fact that Jokic is great, but
dude, I just want to know why they don't run
so far from the point.
Shout out to Mike Malone for putting the slam dunk contest winner in the dunker spot. Who would have thought of that? Who would have thought to put the slam dunk contest winner in the dunker spot right behind the guy who you have to double and he can pass? He's an elite passer and scorer. Wow. He's a transformative mind of the NBA. We should tip our cap to him, shouldn't we? The guy who can dunk from the free throw line. The guy who can dunk from the free throw line. Oh, we shouldn't put him in the dunker spot.
That sounds wild, honestly. Like,
do I?
I'm not gonna lie. You're doing a disservice to basketball by spewing this rhetoric. Like, it's definitely not that simple.
They put the most athletic player on the court in the dunker spot. That's never been done before, right? We can point to guys for 30 years who the most athletic guy stands at the paint and he's in the dunker spot. It's called the dunker spot for a reason.
Oh, really? No. So you just put the dunker there? Type shit? Like you just put the dunker there.
Yes, right. that's what the guys do. You put the dunker there. Wow.
I did.
Who could have thought of that one?
Yeah,
wow.
I'm saying, like, I have no idea. I don't even know why they have Mike Malone over there. Then I guess, like,
and then you have a 7 foot. And then you have a 7 foot center. You have a 7 foot center who can score. He can pass with his left and his right. You can't do anything with him.
Left
what
and
are we
right.
talking about? Yes, he can score with his left and his right, and he can pass with his left and his right.
A lot of players can do that. LeBron can do that. Like Luke can do it. Like I said.
Anywho, we're so far from the point. Like again, development of basketball players. Development of basketball players, don't you? Like again,
so, is your narrative? I just want to get this. Let's just make this clear.
I have no narrative. But go ahead.
Is y'all's narrative that Europeans, because they pass and cut, Americans don't pass and cut now? Apparently,
they don't happen as much as
NBA, as much in the NBA. The NBA basketball is not. That's not how the game is played. Okay, the game is not. Why are you exactly? So you're proving my point, though.
But I'm saying maybe they should. Like maybe they should implement that maybe earlier in their careers. Like
they do. They play that. That's how college basketball is played.
Not enough. Not like they do in Europe is what I'm saying.
You don't watch college basketball. That's what I'm saying. You don't watch college basketball. I'm telling you they do. That's how the game is played. They'll take a 5-star player. I'm telling you, Ian. They'll take a 5-star high school player and put him on a college basketball team.
Okay,
he will
that's fine.
do all this and fading away for 3. They're playing in an offensive system. They're playing in a game similar to what you're talking about.
Julian, but like Morgan said, the elite players, they're only there for 1 year. So they don't really learn the systems. Those people in Europe, they're doing it.
That's because it's not that they're not learning it in. Like, I think that they know how to play in a pass and cut offense. Like, most players who are smart enough to make it to the NBA can thrive in a system like that. Those systems are not ran in the NBA. They aren't really ran. They are not ran.
Ran on the Nuggets.
Yes, you bring me one team.
That's the point.
That's never mind, bro. Like, we can't have arguments like this when you're not grasping what I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying.
No, you don't, because you're.
I'd take 5 pot. It's definitely an interesting. That was an interesting question. I would definitely pat myself on the back for posing that one because again, like it's a lot. It's a lot of different angles. There's a lot of different angles to that one. So I want you to keep moving.
Can we do this real quick? I want you to watch college basketball today, okay, Ian? There's about how many games are there today? There's a lot of games today. I want you to go and watch it.
It's different from doing it your whole life than doing it 1 year. Like repetition in a
most players who play in college are not one and done, Ian. There's a lot of players who play
elite players. These people on the screen are elite players. They would not have been in college for more than 1 year. Like, what are we talking about?
Joel Embiid. How many years was Joel Embiid in college?
Bro, what?
Pretty sure
I'm asking you.
3 years.
I don't think you.
He wasn't a one. He wasn't a one and done.
He was elite.
No, he wasn't. I watched college basketball. I saw him play at Kansas. No, he was not elite. He was not the best player.
What pick was he?
He was definitely skinny.
Dude, that's because you're a prospect. You're basing that on being a prospect. I'm telling you, Ian, you're wrong. You are wrong. Giannis, if you put Giannis in college basketball, no, he would not be one and done.
Oh, you're not understanding.
You being rookie Giannis?
Yes.
You talking about rookie Giannis? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Obviously, right now he would be.
Rookie Giannis. You know.
What about Luka? What about Wembanyama? Like,
yes, Luka and Wemby they're crazy. Yes, Luka and Wemby were crazy from the time that they were 17. Yes, they would be one and done. Yes, I understand that, Ian. I'm just telling you, that's not how college basketball goes. It's not just a one and done. It's not just one and done. That's not how it goes. It's not all one and done. All 5 stars don't go one and done. That doesn't happen.
But my point is, you're not in the system long enough really to like repetition wise, like learn it and like instill it in your brain. Like I feel like
the guys who go to play in the NBA know how to play pass and cut basketball.
They know how.
I'll leave it at that.
That's not what I'm saying. Like there's a difference between knowing how to and excelling at it. Like there's a difference.
They can excel in it.
Then why don't they use it?
It's when you listen to LeBron and JJ, maybe not.
I didn't even bring up LeBron and JJ. Like JJ, he's got his little son that he be coaching or what have you. Like he definitely teaches him much different principles than when I was coming up. At least I don't know about y'all, but like. I'd take 5, man. We gonna keep it going.
JJ played.
We all want to watch.
He played in the NBA.
I
said, and JJ played at Duke in the NBA and also in the NBA.
Yeah, exactly. Was he a one and done?
I don't think so.
Of course not. Of course not.
He was a dog though.
Of course.
Yeah.
He had a career. So yeah, he was good. I'd take 5, man. That was some good. That was a good discussion. But we all do want to watch some college football, so let's get up out of here. Jerry Sneed to the Titans. All right. Chiefs are expected to receive a 2025 third-round pick in addition to a 2024 seventh-round pick swap for Sneed. Any comments, any thoughts about this move here?
I just thought the Chiefs, I didn't really understand why they had to give him up. I guess because he wasn't going to play for them. Maybe is that right, Drew? Under the franchise,
not playing on the franchise tag.
Yeah, of course he wasn't on the franchise tag. I guess so. I guess they had to give him up, but a third rounder is just. I feel like that's not enough. Like I get that what's his name has to pay them, so they didn't want to give up that much. But like if I'm the Chiefs, like I'm not giving him up for less than a second rounder. Like he's one of the best corners in the league. He literally was probably the reason they went to the Super Bowl. Like if he doesn't knock out that ball that Zay Flowers has across the goal line, like they might lose that game. And like he played well all year. Like I just didn't really understand why they gave him up for so little. But I guess the league forced their hand, and pretty much Snead did too.
I mean, factual. We always talk about this. Me and you especially have conversations about value in the NFL. You know, like you think everyone should be traded for a first round pick.
No, I think elite players should be valued as an elite player. Like I don't care about positions. Like in my opinion, elite players are positionless. It really doesn't matter what position you are.
But
If
it's
you're elite,
the circumstances at this point. Like he wasn't going to get paid. Like he was going to get franchise tagged. So like, and if he wasn't going to play on the franchise tag, you kind of trap the Chiefs in a corner. Like it's not like they can get much value out of him at that point anyway. So
this is what we talk about. We talk about value. So if you're looking at his value right now, he has to be paid. We know he's not going to play on the franchise tag, obviously. You're not getting a second round pick for him. Second round picks turn into monsters.
I get that.
We should look up where L'Jarius Sneed got drafted. He probably went after the second round.
He's one of the best corners in the league, though. And
I'm just saying, for example, there will be an all-pro draft in the second round this year.
Okay, like that's cool, but you have to be very good at drafting, and like that's very hard to do in this league. Like
second round picks are supposed to be at least starters for a long time in your team.
Okay, but L'Jarius Sneed is not just a starter. He's an
all-pro
player.
You're missing a point. We don't disagree with you that he's at the upper echelon of the position, but like you're like if there's teams shopping around and like they know the situation,
I understand, dude. I understand the leverage.
Other teams are not going to offer that much, so at that point, you force the Chiefs' hand.
I literally said that. I understand that. Okay, but it's whatever.
So what are you arguing? Like it literally.
I didn't argue anything. I said that.
Now. We all agree that he is a top player in the league, but like with the situation, the financial situation that the Chiefs were in. And the fact that L'Jarius Sneed was not going to play on the franchise tag, they would have tagged him, and he would have just sat on the bench.
I understand, dude. I said all this
games out of the year. So, like, what are we talking about here?
I just didn't feel like they got enough. That's all I said. I said I understand the leverage point. I said that from the beginning.
You can't say both.
Yeah, like
what I said. I don't, dude. If they traded this, there was a while ago where he could have been traded for probably like a second rounder, maybe like at the end of the year, maybe.
What did Brian Burns go for?
Third in the fifth?
Did he? It was something around there, like something like.
And he got paid $150 million. L'Jarius he's not gonna get paid $150.
I mean, he didn't get as long of a deal. I mean, he got $100 million for like 4 years, I think. He got $20 million per year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think L'Jarius Sneed's gonna get $150.
I mean, you'll get paid a different amount based on the position you play and like how long your contract is. But like L'Jarius Sneed got paid. He got paid.
I mean, he's gonna get paid, yes, but I think, yeah, I mean, cool.
So what are we talking about?
I just said I feel like they should have got more for him, is what I think.
Well,
they should have?
It would be nice. It would be nice to get more, but I don't think that they could have like
before free agency.
No, because then they wouldn't have tagged him.
I'm talking about okay. Forget about the franchise tag. Like, forget about all that. They probably. I feel like they can leverage something into.
We can't deal in super hypotheticals like the franchise tag isn't real now. The franchise tag is very real. Like it's a very real thing that teams use when it matters.
They shouldn't have put it on him. Maybe they should put it on Chris Jones or something.
They had to, or they wouldn't have got anything.
Dude, I'm just talking about
the same thing would have happened with both of them. I'm telling you.
Was that not the case last year with Chris Jones? Like, wasn't he on the tag last year and like he sat out for
he didn't play. He didn't play until they paid him.
Okay. Yes. Okay, so maybe I don't know. Maybe they paid him last year?
Yeah, they paid him a 1 year deal.
I think they paid him end of season, but there's a certain point when you're on the franchise tag, like you have to play at least half of the year or something like that. And so he ended up getting paid at the end of the year.
No, they did it both. They paid him both times. They paid him on a 1 year deal this time, and then they paid him for real this time, like this offseason.
I see. Like it's just like if I was in the front office, I just couldn't see Snead out the building. No matter what,
you would be in the front office, bro. Not all that maybe should have.
God bless that front office and that franchise. That was
maybe we can.
We'll be in the Super Bowl. I'd run a dynasty.
He's gonna Ian would pay his running back $25 million per year for a 7-year deal. He paid Saquon Barkley a 7-year $400 million deal. He's one of the best players in the league.
Dude, why would I do that? I would value him based on his position, but I would give him a little bit more.
Nah, they would be outside of your offense with pitchforks.
You would be trying to give everyone a little bit more, and
be outside of your offense with pitchforks. We want Ian outside of your offense.
The Saquon offer I offered was literally less than what the Eagles said. Like,
very wild.
Ooh.
I'd say fine, man. Last thing I want to get into, I did not put a slide there for this, but what do y'all know about this Ohtani situation? Like, what's going on there? I'm hearing a lot of news about this.
Yeah, I don't know
what's going on.
His translator's just out bad. Like,
I wonder, like, does anyone really know what happened?
I don't think.
I mean,
besides the Dodgers themselves, I feel like
he got fired is a.
I mean, but like, so I've heard both sides. Like, I've heard, like, I'd be joking with y'all, but like, hopefully, like, Shohei Ohtani like doesn't have like a betting problem. Like, that would suck for the game. Like, if he actually does have a betting problem, because like he probably can't play. Like, right? Like, if you're betting on games, like.
No, I know what happened. I mean, they said what happened. The reporter, like, some reporter asked his translator what happened, and he like lied to her apparently and said that like Shohei gave him the $4.5 million to cover the bet.
Well, they said that like the interpreter was using Shohei's money to make bets.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
From his bank account, from Shohei's bank account.
Yeah, that was the real story that they said happened.
But originally, they changed the story up like when they were about to get caught. Yeah. So like that's what makes it look sketchy. Because like at first they said like Shohei gave him the money to get out of like his debt. Then now they're saying Shohei didn't know anything about it. Like that's what they're saying now.
I mean, I don't think it's that fishy. I just think he was just trying to watch out for his homie. Like 4.5.
I mean,
the games weren't on baseball, so like it's really not even like that crazy. Like I don't even think it's illegal to bet on.
If it wasn't on baseball, then it would probably go back to the point where like the translator was like taking the money, that like just properly taking the money instead of being given the money to
probably
carry out XYZ. Because like Shohei, like in theory, he could bet on any other sport. He just can't bet on professional baseball games. So,
but yeah, I guess they're best friends, aren't they?
Apparently,
they were.
Which sucks. That really sucks for Shohei. Like if his best friends was embezzling money from him, but like I'm not knowing if that's what really happened. Like based on what I've been hearing, like I don't know if it was embezzlement. I feel like it may be something a bit more fishy, but I guess we'll find out more soon.
Shohei's team did want the police to get involved though, so he probably didn't know.
I mean, I heard that the interpreter like confessed, like I think it was before the first game, like or maybe after the first game in the locker room to the whole team. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm interested to see what happens.
It's always interesting when folks say they don't know about the moving of large sums of money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I don't know. Like I'm gonna have to side with the fishy. On this one. Like
it's just weird because I mean a lot of these players that make so much money, like they'll have their own financial advisors, which I guess there's probably more pieces to the puzzle that like have to be found out, because maybe it wasn't just them two or just solely the translator. Like it could have been more people kind of in control of Shohei's funds kind of playing a part in that. So I didn't hear the fact that he apparently, I guess, reportedly apologized or confessed to the team, which is
that's what I heard.
Something as
like
well.
Right before this story broke. I think they were playing in that Padres series. Either before or after the game in the clubhouse, like he addressed the whole team. I don't know what he confessed to, but they say he addressed the team. So interesting. But like, yeah, it would serve the Dodgers right if that boy had to get up out of there. But that was suck to see, like for the fans, like we don't want to see
That's the
Shohei
face of the
not be-
league.
Yeah, we don't want to see him not be able to play baseball like ever again. That was so.
Bro, y'all don't want that to happen because then y'all won't have an excuse like once we beat y'all or like once.
Huh?
What?
What do they have to do with the Braves and the Phillies?
I mean, it's just a harder or easier route without Shohei, and then huh? You always bring up the ring, bro.
That's what matters. We won a ring recently.
You haven't beat us the last 2 years in the playoffs.
It's 2 years.
It's just fun.
2 years.
That's okay.
It's just fun.
Get a division,
Opening day baseball Thursday. Be there.
get a division title, love, bro. Now y'all are still the love bros.
I love Strider. I love Strider.
I don't even. My thing with the Phillies fans is like I don't understand the Strider thing because like Strider East versus y'all.
He doesn't
even in the playoffs, the only time that he had a bad game in the playoffs was when he was 2 years ago, and that was the time when he just came off an injury. That was his first game off of months. Huh?
He had a bad game last year.
No, he didn't.
Okay.
He gave up two earned run and struck you out 10 times.
Nick Castellanos had like 2 home runs in the same game, and one is the game.
I just said he gave up 2 home runs. We scored 1 run. That's not a Strider game.
Yeah, offense
didn't play
had
well.
nothing.
I forgot your MVP choke. Bases loaded. My fault. I forgot.
Hit the ball hard and you made a good play.
I forgot.
Baseball happens. If you hit the ball hard, you can't be mad at it. Like he squared the ball up.
Anywho, any closing remarks before we get up out of here, man? I got to get up out of this seat now, but anything we got here?
I mean, more college basketball today, and it's because he brought it up again. Like NL East champs again, Braves.
We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see.
Bro, we're gonna win the division again. You know that.
You don't know that. We got better.
We know it.
Hey, we got 8 games. Call the game.
Down the best team in the division.
Call the game. Dayton, Arizona.
Arizona.
Kansas, Gonzaga.
Kansas.
Dickey.
Gonzaga.
Zags.
I
like Dickey. Now Gonzaga, no cap, Gonzaga did look good, but I like Dickey though.
I've got Gonzaga by 3.5 over here, so beware. Michigan State, UNC.
I got North Carolina, but that would be
North Carolina, but this is a joker game for sure.
Yeah, it'll be close. Yeah,
we'll see about that. Texas, Tennessee. I like Tennessee here.
I like
Tennessee by 6. Washington State versus Iowa State.
I think
Iowa State, man. Come on now.
I'm thinking Iowa State. I don't know much about either team, but
Iowa State's a good team.
Iowa State. NC State, Oakland.
I like NC State.
NC State. They're on a heater right now, so I
can't believe
it.
I'm glad they got this matchup. Like I feel like they will take advantage of this. Like, hey,
bro, he's a monster, DJ Burns, and it's funny because like I picked them to win that game, their first round game, because I watched DJ Burns in the regular season just annihilate the Canes. Like he annihilated us. Like it was wrong.
There's not much you can do. Is he a league player? Like he going to the league?
I don't know. He's been there for a while. He beat us last year too when we were 5, actually. But I mean, I don't know. He may be. He's
you add the footwork into it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Like, step and the weight on him, like he could make it. Honestly,
I don't know. I don't know how tall he is. Like
did Lofton Jr. make it to the league?
Yeah, but he's getting tossed around like a potato forever.
Like, he dropped a 50 ball last night.
A 50 ball?
Yeah, for some G League.
Oh, in the G League. Oh,
I didn't hear that. The G League, like, that's a shame though. He actually is very good at basketball. I don't really know why they won't give him a chance. Like, I don't get that personally, but hey, this is whatever. Like, Duquesne, Illinois.
Closer than the experts predict, but I think Illinois. I I'm gonna go out on a limb and just say Duquesne's gonna win. I'll go out on a limb.
You go out bad. Illinois
I'll go with Duquesne.
by 10.5. You follow Julian off a cliff, like I'm telling you. Monos ball. Monos ball.
I have Illinois in that matchup exit though, but I'm gonna just pick Duquesne just for fun.
Yeah, whatever. Oregon, Creighton, last game.
That's gonna be smoked out.
These are all like I like a lot of these matchups today. Like I'm rocking with Creighton, but Oregon is another team kind of trending in the right direction. So
I don't know who I picked in that game actually. I have the matchup. I don't know who I picked though. So I don't know.
I feel like that could get weird, honestly. I have Creighton, but like
no, a lot of these games can get weird today. This could be a weird day.
Ian, I want you to watch basketball today. I want you to watch college basketball, okay? And I want you to see if guys are just running around and pulling.
Are there going to be any 5-star elite players going to the league next year that are just there for 1 year, or maybe 2?
Yeah, I'm sure there will be.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they don't even need to know what they're doing today.
Okay, so you watch. Okay, actually, one game that you should watch. I want you to watch DJ Burns play. Okay, the NC State game. He plays a similar game to what you like. Okay.
You talking about the big fella?
doing Ian like.
Yeah, like pass. He gets the ball in the post and he controls the game from there. Like he's a dimer.
Like
DJ Burns is a dimer for real.
And Luka and Jokic. Yeah.
He's not as talented as him, but like he's fine.
He's stuff. Like I said, DJ Burns is exactly what Julian thought he was. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you'll be able to see some of the similarities. Like back in the day,
he has like a bit of my game, but he just leaves out like the slashing ability. Like he can't slash like me. Like I could play with my back to the basket. Obviously I could pass. Like, we all know that. We all know I could pass. Either hand, like it's going like come on now. But like in terms of like my face up game, like he doesn't have that. He doesn't have my face up game.
Ridiculous.
Ian, don't let it slide. Don't let it slide.
On that note, we're gonna go ahead and end this off, man. Take V5. Make sure y'all follow us on all platforms.
As if I wasn't
everywhere. Instagram, Facebook.
The War Eagles got faced up in front of the coach.
Excuse me. Twitch, X, TikTok. All right. Motos Ball. We will see y'all next week. We out.